I'm Jeff, this is Allie, Weight Coaching, and today we are with our very good friend Jeff Bitton with Pitch 59, who literally will help you come alive in 59 seconds via video. You can send it, you can refer it to people. It's an incredible thing, incredible tool. And so we're going to be talking about your journey today with EOS, Entrepreneurial Operating System, and my lovely wife's, I guess, your role in that, because you've been helping them implement and whatnot. And so I'm going to sit back and learn from two masters a little bit more about EOS. You go.
Well, okay, so I've been working with Pitch 59 in an official capacity since November of 2023.
Yeah.
So how many months is that? That's 10 months.
So far, that's been, what?
8 or 9 months.
Because in the future, in 2030, when they're watching this, they're like, oh my goodness, so 9 months from now.
True, so it's been more than a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's months. Yeah.
It's been months.
But it's gone fast.
It has.
And so I'm an EOS implementer, but I took a special role with Pitch 59, implementing EOS, but also acting as a very fractional Director of Operations. Which has been so much fun. I love the team. You've built an amazing team.
I'll say this too, from my perspective, like I hear, like Allie will talk about her time with the team. I hear a lot of the meetings or whatnot. I'm kind of listening just from the, my little cubicle or whatnot. And I know it energizes Allie. She loves working with the team, loves working with you guys, loves the product, loves what you're building. And so it's pretty incredible.
But okay, so talk a little bit about why. Why did you bring me on? Why did you turn to EOS? Like, where were you at? What were some of those pain points?
So long before we asked you to do EOS with us, we were friends.
Yeah.
We met you guys two years ago-ish?
Oh, yeah.
Almost 2 years ago?
Yep.
At an event, and loved your personalities, and we're like, we got to hang out. And so we scheduled a double date. Loved you guys as people first, before there was any business interactions or whatever. And we went and did some other stuff together and just got to know you guys better, your backgrounds, you as a previous pastor, you with your family's company back in Minnesota. And the more you get to know people, you can kind of see what their personality is like, what their work ethic is like, what their capability is, all that kind of stuff. So I'm, as you well know, I'm a visionary. And I am terrible at the integrator stuff, like the operations. Pitch 59 probably took a lot longer to get off the ground than it needed to, because I'm just on one side and I didn't have an operations person on the team. I would just go and give assignments out. I'd be like, okay, you do this, you do this, you do this. There was no such thing as a return and report. There was no like official goal setting roles, like ironed out responsibilities on the team. It was just like, hey, how about you do this, and how about I do this? And then everybody was wearing everybody else's hats. And it could tell, like I could tell it with our team, our investors could tell that it wasn't super organized or structured. And so you guys asked me to help you with just kind of figuring out your sales pitch with EOS when you guys were starting, like how to really present what we do well to other people.
Yeah.
And as I was going through that stuff with you guys, I'm like, really? I'm like, I think we're probably good candidates for you guys now. But at the time, we didn't have the money to invest in it. And so I'm like, well, what if we do this? What if we do an equity trade or whatever with this, so that we can bring on some of your expertise and do kind of a minimal version of EOS? And you're like, no, it's either EOS or it's nothing. We're going to do everything all together. And once we did the first EOS session with you, I'm like, oh my gosh, like just that 8-hour day, like our first meeting, the structure that I felt with the company after that first day, I'm like, why didn't we do this years ago? And then also I'm like, well, now we've got, like, we're getting the structure, but I still don't have anybody to like implement all this stuff in our company, because I'm not the one that should do that. So I reached out to Jeff and said, hey, what do you think about Allie potentially doing a part-time director of operations for us, so that she can implement the things that she's teaching us? And he said, well, we'll chat. And so we chatted, and you were gracious enough and willing enough to come on and help us with that. And anyway, so you've been doing EOS as you've been running our operations. And the difference between Pitch 59 today, the organization of Pitch 59 and the way that it's structured and growing, is night and day difference from what it was a year ago. I don't know if you have specific questions about why it's so different, but just you've brought a different level of understanding of organization, of operation, of roles and responsibilities, and the importance of reporting on those roles and the projects that we're working on and stuff. And so I look at Pitch 59 totally different now than I did a year ago.
So
that's amazing.
Let me ask this. Like with that in mind, that idea, like you feel like you look at it differently than a year ago. I know a lot of time for the visionary, like, right, like what keeps you up at night, the things that you're concerned about, the things that, like, I'm a visionary as well. And so from that standpoint, you know, when you're going through a stressful time or there's a, you know, something major happening at work, like you feel it, it affects you, affects your family, 100%. It affects your sleep, it affects everything, right? Even when you're not at your desk, it's on your mind.
Yep.
So a year ago from today, like, what has changed that, you know, are you sleeping better? Is there not the same, like, I'm waking up at night, you know, when you do wake up at night, what hits differently? Do you have a solution as opposed to like, how are we going to fix this? Like, how is it different when you think about that as the visionary 1 year ago today versus today?
I'm always good with our team. Like, I love our team. And so it's easy to treat them with respect and love. But when I'm frustrated and irritated, I'm like, come on, guys, pick up the shovel and dig faster, dig harder, dig in a new area, do like whatever. And one of the things that I've noticed is now that you've come on and helped us like get the different departments structured, get the different responsibilities of each person ironed out, the different way that they report, the different projects that they're working on and everything, I don't get as frustrated with our team anymore because everybody's like doing the things that they need to be doing, and I know better who to ask to do things or what to do. And so also I feel like I'm a better leader because they have more structure and organization. Whereas before it was just herding cats, and the guy that is herding the cats has terrible ADD and is like, hey, we should go over here. So that's a terrible combination to have without somebody that really understands, like, no, we got to rein this in, we've got to bring this together and make sure that we stay on topic here. And so it's easier for me to just focus on the things that I'm good at, which is selling the product to customers and investors, raising the money that we need, and then also just giving the team like a vision, like, hey, we should be doing this. We should be working towards this. This is what is really going to be the most beneficial for our company and our customers in the future.
9 months in, you're able to focus on your unique ability, basically selling the product and then casting vision.
Yeah. And I always knew that I wasn't good at the other stuff. I just did it because I didn't have anybody else to do it.
Yeah.
In fact, I think most small business owners think they're both a visionary and an integrator.
Yeah.
And I think it's super, super rare that somebody is legitimately both. Some people say that they're both, but I'm like, no, you're not. You're more on the integrator side, or you're not more on the visionary side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know that you should ever want to be both. Like, you should own who you are and be really good at that and let somebody else do the stuff that you're not great at. And so
if I can jump in on there, because there are so many like business owners that I've met that they are true visionaries.
Yeah.
And whether or not they think they can do both, they feel like they need to. And there's almost this level of guilt or like feeling like they're failing their team because they're not the good herder, right? They're not good at like managing people or processes or moving projects along. Like, they have the ADD, but that's really like kind of how you're created when you're a visionary. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so that's just one thing that is so significant. Like, let's just do EOS. And I'm like, it's not going to go anywhere if you don't have the right counterpart on your team. And that's such an important message. Oh, go ahead.
One of the things that you taught us was that the person in each responsibility needs to be, I can't remember the three, but it was good and efficient and have the capacity to do that.
Get it, want it, capacity. Correct. And Jeff Bidden added efficient.
Efficiency.
Yes, so, which I love.
Okay.
Because you're like, hey, you have to be good at it, but also be able to do it quickly and efficiently.
Yeah, if you're not efficient, like, somebody else needs to do it.
Yes.
And too many business owners think that they're kind of the almighty, like they're really good, they're really capable. I started this business, I can do this. But the best business owners are the ones that are the most self-aware, I think.
Yeah.
The ones that recognize, look, I'm good at some things, but I'm lousy at these other things, and I've got to get good minds, good talent, good people that are way smarter than me to do other things that I'm not good at. My brother would be the first one to admit this. He works with us, and he's not efficient at a lot of things. He's great at a lot of things, but he's not efficient. And so just having that structure in place where we're like, you're good at that, but you're not efficient. So this person that's good and efficient is going to do that project while you work on this thing over here.
Yeah.
So I think it's just so critical to have somebody that also just to bounce ideas off. I'll be like, hey, I think we should implement some type of bonus structure. What do you think about that? And how should we set that up and everything, where I'm not the one that should be coming up with that kind of stuff.
And you've really done a great job of balancing, like we talked about that a little bit, like you have this vision and you have to almost have this, like, what's the right word? Like, not ego, but like, I don't care confidence. What you guys think, confidence in it, but that's balanced with this humility as well. We're like, I'm confident and this is my vision and I believe we can do it even if it looks impossible.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's balanced with this humility of like, I want to hear you guys. I want to work collaboratively. And I realize I cannot do it all on my own.
Right.
You've been so open to other people coming in, leaning on their expertise, hearing their ideas. That is like the ultimate, balance that we're looking for in a leader.
And I'll say this too. I think where we see the sweet spot with EOS is with visionaries that are confident and humble. Right? And they're humble enough to say, hey, I don't know everything.
Yeah.
This is not my sweet spot. I need help here. Because then what that does, it opens the door to collaboration and true collaboration. Not just collaboration for like, you do that. Like, you just stay out of my way. Like, it's actually like, no, I need your opinion. I need you here because if you don't do this, no one else will. Like, I need that. And so that's where we've seen EOS really function well when the visionary is much like yourself. So the success you're experiencing today is EOS, but it's also who you are, if that makes sense. Like, you do have to be a humble leader. You do have to be willing to say, I don't know, I need help. Because this is where, when you say help, that's when people can step up, right? You create space for people to step up. You create a platform for people to be a part. And so it's so important.
And the thing that I love about EOS too is that you make all of our departments better at what they're doing. Because we have you in there doing that kind of stuff, our sales is going better. Our CX program is going better. Our development team, every department is doing so much better because we're doing the EOS implementation. If we didn't do that, it's not just like the company doesn't grow as well or like you're spending too much money or whatever. It's like every department doesn't function as well when they don't have all the basic structure of the EOS plan. And so I'm a huge believer in it because I've witnessed it over the last 8 or 9 years. I felt confident that we could grow our business, but now I feel confident that we can't fail. Like, if we keep going, we're not going to fail because we have the right structure built, we have the right people on the bus, and like we're figuring out where they go and how they do everything, and it just makes everybody better.
I think that's an interesting thing you just said there, like, we can't fail. I think a lot of times, most entrepreneurs, visionaries, and that's one of the greatest fears, like the idea of failure. Like, wow, what if this fails? And we're going to keep trucking, keep going, but the idea of like failing, now you feel like we can't fail. I mean, that's massive. That's incredible.
The only thing that prevents us from success is ourselves right now. And like, this is the confidence or the arrogance part. I know that I can go out and sell Pitch 59 to anybody. Like, if I meet with them and show them what it'll do, they're going to buy it.
Yeah.
And so I have that confidence in the product now. But now I have confidence in our team and our ability to deliver on the customer support side, on the development side, on the CX side, on all the different sides. And so now, as long as we just keep going, we're going to succeed. It's just a matter of time before it becomes a thing. But I know that we can keep going.
So last question I have on this, I see like it can be a really difficult decision for an organization what to invest in, like more sales, more product development, or do we invest in, building up the internal structure of the organization? And you ultimately made that decision of like, okay, no, we need to spend time and energy now on building up our internal structure rather than only just focusing on product development. But I think that's a really hard decision for people to make, and knowing like when it's the right time.
So if you picture it as like a boat with a bunch of oars, sales would be the oars, people rowing the boat. If your boat has holes in it all over the place, like, it's going to be so much harder to row that boat, right? It's just going to go slower. People are going to be needing to bail out water instead of being able to oar or row the boat. And so, in my opinion, it makes most sense to get a boat that's awesome. Like the boat that's easy to row, it's got the seats and the oars and everything for the right people in the right places. And then you can invest your money in the sales and just go crazy with it. But until you have a structure that's organized, I wish that we would have done EOS earlier, because I think our company would be further along right now had we done it, which would have made us more money. So, I mean, whether you're investing it in the structure of the boat or in the sales, like, you're still investing it in one place or another. But there's a more effective and efficient way to grow it, I think, if you do the EOS.
Well, thank you. It's been an honor to work with the team. We love Pitch 59. We love what you do. If you guys don't have a pitch card, go make one.
If you don't have an EOS implementer and a Discover Strength coach, get it.
Love it. Love it.
Thank
Jeff,
you
thank
so
you for your
much,
time today.
Yeah,
Thanks for
thank you. It's
having
a
a
lot of
conversation with us.
You bet. Thank you.